Hey YouTube, Twig here, bringing you all an update to my Star Seraph Yugioh deck profile for August 2024. We just recently had the latest Barian character, Dune, released in the Yugioh Duel Links. So seeing all of the number 102 Star Seraph support in the Duel Links series, I wanted to update the deck for the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Being an Xyz-based deck, we also had some of the new XYZ Barian support released in the Soul Burning booster pack for the Duelist pack, which helps with some more of the generic support for being able to go into cards like number C102 on top of just the normal Star Seraph Sentry, along with some other more generic light support that I like to run in the deck also. So let's go ahead and get started with the deck profile. So we'll go ahead and get started with the main deck monsters. For the Star Seraph monsters, I run 3 copies of Star Seraph Scepter. When this card is normal or special summon, you can add 1 Star Seraph monster from your deck to your hand, except for Scepter. An Xyz monster that was summoned using 3 or more monsters, including this card on the field, as Xyz material, gains this effect. When it's Xyz summoned, you can target 1 other card on the field, destroy it. If you do draw 1 card. So our main go-to Xyz monster in the deck is number 102 Star Seraph Sentry, needing 3 level 4 light monsters to make it. So one of the better cards to use for the overlay power of this card, giving you the draw 1 card and destruction effect when used for the Xyz material. We also run 3 copies of Star Seraph Sovereignty. It cannot be used as Xyz material for the Xyz summon except for an Xyz monster that uses 3 or more monsters as Xyz material. If you normal or special summon a Star Seraph monster, except during your damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. If you do draw 1 card, then you can special summon it if it is a Star Seraph monster, giving you the additional overlay power for your draw with Scepter and Sovereignty, on top of 1 additional Star Seraph monster you may use. It's just additional draw power, destruction power, you name it. All good setup for the main play of our light Xyz monster that we'll summon out onto the field. So another definite 3-of for sure. And the last 3-of for the Star Seraph monsters being 3 copies of Star Seraph Sage. Once per turn, you can send 1 spell card from your hand to the graveyard to special summon 1 Star Seraph monster from your hand. So we run a good number of spells in the deck as well. So even just being able to send it off to the graveyard can just help to extend our special summons on the field for some other Star Seraph monsters that we just may have for our hand and be better off used as a special summon resource onto the field. For some of the lower numbers for our Star Seraph monsters, 2 copies of Star Seraph Scale. When this card is special summoned, you can special summon 1 Star Seraph monster from your hand. Then you can place 1 light monster from your graveyard on the top of the deck. If an Xyz monster that was special summoned using 3 or more monsters, including this card on the field, is Xyz material, it gains the effect of once per turn while this card is Xyz material. If a monster is special summoned from the hand, immediately draw 1 card. So your main play of number 102 just leads into so much more draw power, setting up cards on the top of the deck as well. Gives you more setup with cards like Sovereignty, because then you draw and reveal a card if it's a Star Seraph monster, just to continue to special summon out monsters to the field also. With the last of our Star Seraph monsters being 2 copies of Star Seraph Scout. When this card's normal summon, you can special summon 1 Star Seraph monster from your hand. Just additional extension. If you don't go for the 3 or more Xyz play, Scout can just be used as a summon and then overlay for your 2 monsters to go into another generic Xyz monster from your extra deck. And for more additional support for light Xyz plays, 3 copies of ZS Ascended Sage. With this card, if you control no cards, you can special summon this card from your hand. And also, with this card, being able to add a rank up magic normal spell from your deck to your hand as well. The normal spell search definitely does come in handy since we want to be able to go into cards like our number C102 Archfiend Seraph for that play. But what's also fun with the setup of your cards and the additional setup, being able to use those monsters as just additional resources, being a light monster as well, meeting the requirements for needing to go into Star Seraph Sentry. And also the 3 copies of Astral Karibo just for the reveal of our Star Seraph in our extra deck to then summon this card on the field, making it a level 4 monster, so just more resources for light monsters to be summoned onto the field also. And also 2 copies of Honest. This is just a surprise card. If you wanted to run hand traps, you can always replace for some spots for Honest, and also 1 of the Astral Karibo if you wanted to run Ash Blossom in the deck for these spots. But you can really surprise your opponent with the drop of Honest from your hand when attacking into your 102 on the field also. for the spells, our rank up spells include 1 copy of Rank Up Magic, the 7th one. To activate this card, you must draw it for your normal draw. In your draw phase, reveal it. Keep it revealed at the start of your main phase. Of the same turn, you can special summon 1 from your extra deck or graveyard that is a number between number 101 and 107, except for a number C. Then Xyz summon from your extra deck 1 number C. So this is just a way to grab 102, summon it, and then go for the Xyz play. And then the 1 copy of 7th Force. During the battle phase, if a monster is destroyed by battle or card effect, target a number Xyz monster in your graveyard, special summon it from your extra deck, and 1 number Xyz monster with the same type as that monster, but 1 rank higher from your deck as well. If you special summon a number C monster with numbers between 101 and 107 in its name, you can add 1 7th or variant spell or 1 rank up quick play spell except 7 Force from your deck to your hand. So more of a search and setup. Once again, with this card for additional Xyz summon, both depend on the situation of when you will overlay with your Xyz monster, but still, both 2 of my favorites to run for the rank up play. And 3 copies of XYZ import. You target an Xyz monster you control and 1 monster your opponent controls with attack less than or equal to it. Attach that monster to your monster as material. So just a way to grab resource while still being able to keep Xyz material on your monsters also. I also run 2 copies of Zexal Construction. Just a way to reveal 1 card in your hand, add 1 of the following cards. So a way to search out our ZS Ascended Sage from our deck to our hand to then use as an additional search. And then for the 1-ofs, we do run a good number of 1-ofs for the spells as well, but they all help with the limited number that we run for them. Those spells are the 1 Constellar Belt. The activation of light monster effects cannot be negated, so great way to stop the negation of any of your main deck monsters being used for the Xyz plays, or even your extra deck monsters. The 1 Double or Nothing, we do run a small Utopia lineup, including Utopia Double, to be able to add Double or Nothing off of it. 1 Reinforcements of the Army for additional ZS Ascended Sage search, and the 1 Call by the Grave for stopping any of our opponent's hand traps from our searches, or just banishing 1 of their cards from their graveyard. The 1 Monster Reborn, along with the 1 Ready Fusion, the 1 Instant Fusion, and the 1 copy of Triple Tactics Talent as more additional ways just to get level 4 monsters from the extra deck onto the field. And for the traps, you can go with the Infinite Impermanence, as I said, for this list as well, or I'm going just for more of a budget option, 3 copies of Call of the Haunted, and then the 1 Goes in Match, because a good majority of the cards we'll summon from the extra deck will be light monsters as well. As for the extra deck monsters, running 2 copies of number 102, Star Seraph Sentry, needing 3 level 4 light monsters. This is your go-to Xyz monster for the majority of your plays. Once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Half its attack also negates effects. If this face-up card on the field would be destroyed, you can detach all of its Xyz materials instead. If you do, any battle damage you take this turn is half, so extra protection just by getting rid of all of its Xyz materials, and that's where cards like XYZ Import come in handy, because then once it has no materials, you can then go for this play, being able to then grab your opponent's monster, and for the fact that you half the attack of the opponent's monster with its initial detach means it's all the easier for you to take with this spell also. I also run the 1 copy of number C102, Archfiend Seraph. If this face-up card be destroyed, you can detach 2 Xyz materials from it instead. When the last Xyz material is detached from this card, inflict 1500 damage to your opponent. And if this card has a number 102 Star Seraph Sentry, it also gains the effect of once per turn, you can detach 1 Xyz material from this card to target a face-up monster your opponent controls, change that target's attack to 0, and negates effects. So once again, another guarantee for you just to grab any monster your opponent has with XYZ Import to then use for this card with the initial burn damage on top of it. The 1 number 39, the 1 Utopia Double, and the 1 Utopia the Lightning for our small Utopia package that we run for more added options with our light Xyz monsters. I run 1 copy of Starring Knight, needing 2 level 4 monsters. You can detach 1 material from this card to special summon 1 light monster from your hand. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn was sent there, you can target 1 level 4 light fairy monster you control, special summon this card if you do attach that monster to this card as material. So a way to summon back 1 of our light monsters that can also just extend more light monster special summons from our hand. The 1 copy of Bujinte Tsukuyomi, the 1 Baguska, the 1 Tornado Dragon, and the 1 Abyss Dweller, along with the 1 Zeus for the rest of our Xyz monsters. One other card I thought to run would be Satellar Knight Deltaros, just for the 3 level 4 options. So if you want to, you can replace one of these 3 cards in the middle, Baguska, Tunguska, Tornado Dragon, or Abyss Dweller with Satellar Knight Deltaros for that other spot, with the rest of the extra deck being the 1 copy of Rare Fish, 1 Carbonala Warrior for the ready fusion and instant fusion targets, and the 1 copy of Hit Potion Nengen as just another way to use our no material Xyz like monsters as a way to get a card on the field to add additional boost to our monsters also. And then as for some of the go-to plays in the deck, you can go for the initial Star Seraph search. Once no more special summon to add a Star Seraph monster from your deck to your hand except for Scepter. So then after you add Sovereignty to your hand with this card using its play, if you no more special summon a Star Seraph monster except during the damage step, you can special summon this card from your hand. And then if you do, draw 1 card. So with Seraph's summon, you can then go for the search off of Sovereignty and then chain Sovereignty to then summon it onto the field, then giving you that initial draw of a card as well. If it's a Star Seraph monster, all the better, because then you can special summon onto the field, having your 3 monsters then to be able to go into your overlay of your needed boss monster in the deck. If you didn't have that additional monster, you could always start off the play by either going for the search with cards like Zaxel Construction for your ZS Ascended Sage, and then if you control no monsters, being able to special summon this card onto the field, and then have the Star Seraph Scepter and then the Sovereignty play before, with the cards for the overlay being available for them as well, for you to summon out your main go-to boss monster. But that is it for the deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed. As I said, I've been wanting to update a good number of the hundreds number monsters as well, and with Dune having his latest release in Duel Links, I figured it was more fitting for this deck for sure. And as always, until next time, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and Kira Twig out.